All right. Welcome back, everybody, to a very special podcast. This is the podcast in which we talk about all of your favorite TV series from yesteryear and then discuss them very casually over a glass of wine. And I'm Patrick M. Dunn. You probably know me from the previous 86-ish episodes. And I'm joined here, as always, by the one and only Kat Halstead.
Hello, everybody. I was waiting to see what name he used. I was like, what's it going to be? What's it going to be this time?
I was going to say Gina Kincaid, just to throw you off, but we'll save that for a 90210 episode. Shout out to Gina Kincaid.
Okay.
Vanessa Marcel. We are at the end of summer. We are in the final days of summer. Everything is dying.
Yes. I went into the backyard yesterday with dogs and my shoes got covered in prickers and stuff. So
in what? What?
In prickers. They're we have these weird plants in the backyard one, they smell. They put off this noxious smell. Two, they just have a million little sharp prickers. And they get stuck in your shoes and your socks and your clothes.
Is the official name of them prickers, or is that what you just call them?
Well, they're little thorn things. And yeah, I call them prickers because they prick you.
Oh, okay. Are they little balls? Little tiny balls? Pointy balls?
They're all... Next time I go out in the yard and I get stuck with some, I'll take a picture for you.
Yes, tweet.
Because I'd then have to spend 15, 20 minutes with a pair of tweezers taking them out of my shoes and stuff.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't know. You're in Colorado, I'm somewhere else.
Yeah, they're these little black things, and they've got little... Sometimes you get them where they still have the little flowery parts on the end.
Oh. So they come out in the fall? They come out at the end of summer is when they make their debut in the world?
Yes.
Do you know what the end of summer always reminds me of?
What? What does it remind you of?
It reminds me of Michelle Williams on Dawson's Creek, dying in a hospital bed, and everyone comes to visit her one last time.
Why does that make you think of the end of summer?
Because the end of summer is kind of a sad thing, because it's just going to get very shitty outside very quickly. Mm-hmm. And Michelle Williams, Jen Lindley, was that her name on Dawson's Creek?
Yeah, Jen Lindley.
Yeah, shout out to Jen Lindley. Jen is dying in a hospital, and just things are going to get shitty when she goes. We're not going to have any more Joey, Jen, Pacey, Dawson drama. That's all just going to come to a crashing halt.
No, we're not. We're just going to have Dawson working with Spielberg and Pacey and Joey together.
I refuse to believe that Pacey and Joey stuck it out for some reason.
Thank you. It would not work. It would not last.
They might be together for 7 months, and then things would get really shitty fast. He'd probably bang the teacher again from the first season. And Joey just you know what, fuck this shit. I'm going to either go to Dawson or some hot new New York City stud or something.
Exactly. Joey's not going to put up with his shit. You know what happens is she and Pacey give this a grown-up try and it still doesn't work. Because he's Pacey and she's Joey, and no.
Yeah, and they're still young at this point, right? I know they flash forward a few years, but it's they're at what 21, 2, 3, or 4 ish.
They were late 20s, so 28, 29 maybe.
What? Really? They were that old in the finale?
I think so. Well, yeah, because they graduated college, or at least the ones who actually graduated college, and then Jen had a kid, and Jack was a teacher, Pacey was running the restaurant, and he'd been doing that for a few years. And Dawson had been working his ass off in Hollywood.
You might be right.
And he had the TV show, and it was in its first season.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Because the TV show was basically the first season of Dawson's Creek.
He had a TV show. I refuse to believe that. Dawson Larry. Do you think his first season of his TV show was on the WB or the CW?
Ooh, it was probably the WB because I don't think the change had been announced. No, it was before the change was announced. It was a year before or two before.
Because I think the WB ended 2007, I think. So was this episode taking place in 2007?
No, it was before 2007.
I don't know. I'm not up to date on my fucking CW drama.
I don't know when the episode took place. Oh gosh, you're making me think, and I'm not going to think about it.
If anyone knows the answer,
when were we 28? Because they were the same age as us.
I feel 2010 or something, 2009. I don't know. If anyone knows the answer when this episode of Dawson's Creek takes place,
maybe
tweet us at Very Podcast and tell us What year? Actually, tweet us two things. Tweet us the year that the CW started, because I don't feel like going on Wikipedia right now. And tweet us the year that the final episode of Dawson's Creek took place. And then, if you feel like it, tweet us like a very unflattering picture of Michelle Williams, because I don't know, that gets me off for some reason. Just like a horrible picture of Michelle Williams.
Do those exist?
I've seen a few. I've seen them, like some paparazzi pics or something, where she's like leaving a club with Busy Phillips or something.
I mean, I haven't. I'll be honest. I don't think I've done the whole like Michelle Williams search thing for probably about a decade.
you mean you don't get like the quarterly? You know what? I want to see what Michelle Williams is up to these days. Feeling
No.
What?
I still want to make sure like Katie Holmes is okay every so often.
Oh, I mean, I check like every day to see if Katie Holmes is okay. I wake up.
You know, I keep waiting for that headline, Surrey moves back in with Tom, or some crazy ridiculousness like that.
Yeah, like before I even like wipe the sleep from my eyes, I Googled Katie Holmes just to make sure she's okay. Make sure she hasn't been kidnapped. She's not in like some compound in Oregon or something. And I had to like angrily tweet Leah Remini to go save her again.
Oh my God, could you imagine? If Leah Remini could get Katie Holmes to sit down and talk about what she saw?
I mean, one, I would love it, but I feel like there's probably like a weird contract that Katie Holmes like is not allowed to talk about this.
Yeah, there's totally like a contract where Katie Holmes can't say shit.
It's like Tom Cruise is probably like, all right, I'll give you like custody of Surrey, but you can't like say crazy shit about Scientology, or else I'm gonna like hit the kill switch button and like your head will explode.
Exactly. It's like, you know how dangerous Scientology is. You know what they'll do. So
the spaceship will come pick up Katie Holmes and it'll like fly her into the sun. And we'll never get, I don't know, what's a hot movie that she did? Disturbing Behavior 2.
I'm like, wait, what has she done?
That's all I can think of. Oh, she was in the first Batman, like the first 2000s Batman movie, and then they replaced her with Maggie Gyllenhaal, which is like a downgrade.
Oh yeah, I feel like she got replaced because of Tom Cruise.
Oh yeah, she didn't want her like canoodling with Christian Bale and Heath Ledger.
Damn you, Tom Cruise. What are we talking about tonight?
Okay. We're doing a Britcom. Is this our first Britcom?
Yes, I believe it is.
All right. So this is a show that I've never heard of this until like a couple of weeks ago when you brought it up and said we should do this. And I was on the fence. I'm not going to lie. I was wildly on the fence. I was nervous as fuck because Britcoms are hit or miss. Like they're either amazing, like Keeping Up Appearances, and Mrs. Brown's Boys, or they're like horrible. They just don't make any sense. You don't understand what anyone's talking about. You don't understand the plot. The slang terms they use just go over your head. They say like offensive things, and you're like, they say that on TV?
Yes, exactly.
So, what are we watching?
We watched the first episode of the classic British comedy Allo Allo.
Yes, Allo Allo. Am I saying it right?
I think so, yeah.
I keep wanting to say like aloe, like aloe vera. But they say Allo Allo in the show, so I guess that's the formal way of pronouncing it.
Well, because it's like the French, they're British actors pretending to be French.
And German.
While speaking English.
And German, right, too?
And German, and also British. It's amazing.
Yes, and it takes place during World War II, like during the heyday of World War II. Germany is invading France, I guess, at this point in time.
Germany has invaded. They are like there. They've occupied. And you get this cafe owner, Rene, who just like wants to survive.
Yes, he just wants to live.
That's all this guy wants.
He wants to like serve.
All this dude wants is to just like serve his wine.
And his croissants.
Hook up with his waitresses, ignore his wife, and that's all he wants.
Yes, and these fucking asshole Nazis roll into town. They occupy France, and there's these like two like colonels, right? What are these two German guys come in?
I get so confused about like rank of the military. Like I don't know. Like, I could ask some of the guys I talked to, but I'd still be confused. I'd be like, I don't know what that means.
Well, one of the guys is in charge. I know that. And the other guy is like his assistant, I think.
Yes, his assistant, yeah.
So they come in, and I guess they like this cafe. They like go into this cafe because I guess they have good food and wine and company, I guess. Oh, and Renee like rents out the ladies as like whores to these Germans.
Yes, the waitresses pretty much whore themselves out. But, like, they don't do it just for, like, because Renee tells them. They do it, like, for themselves. Like, the vet says, I'm doing this so that I can have the stuff that my mother needs because she's sick.
Yeah, like they get rations and stuff. They get like food and medicine and paraffin wax.
They'll get like gasoline for whatever happens with the egg beater and the feather duster. And I don't want to know. I'm like terrified to find out like what that's supposed to be. I'm like, no.
I gathered it was a sexual reference of like someone, one of the...
Yeah, I figure it's like a... sadomasochist kind of thing.
Yeah, one of the girls like to be tickled with a feather duster, and the other one like.
I don't think it's the girls.
Oh, you think it's the guys? They like a little anal tickling.
I think it's the general guy. Yeah, colonel guy, like whatever he is.
The colonel likes the feather duster, and his second banana likes the egg beater, like going through his butt.
Or no, I think it's just him. I don't think it's the other guy.
You think the colonel likes both of them?
Yes.
He likes to start things off slow and then get a little heavy with a whisk.
Yes.
But I'm trying to think of like the logistics of that, and I'm like, all right, the feather duster makes sense. Like maybe he likes to be tickled.
Yes, that's why I'm like, I don't think I want to understand this. I don't.
And then I'm like, wait, the colonel wants the ladies to stick the egg whisk up his ass?
Oh my god, Patrick, it is too early in the morning.
But I mean, that's what they implied like 40 times in this 30-minute episode.
Yes, but still, yeah. Okay, so when did this show start airing?
Yes, before we get in deep, so the premiere episode, this episode aired on December 30th, 1982, on a Thursday night.
Hey, we were both alive.
Yes, we were alive. We were like a yearish old.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I don't know, doing like toddler shit.
Whatever it was we were doing.
I don't know if this aired in the U.S. on this night. I couldn't find it on the schedule.
It didn't. No, it would not air in the U.S. until like years later on like PBS.
Yeah, well, because usually like they don't just put the new Britcoms on the air. They want to see if they're like a hit, and they let a few episodes build up, and then they send them over here.
Yeah, something like that.
Are you ready for what was on December 30th, 1982?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. It must have been like a night of reruns or something, because I can only find like a few things on the schedule. So we're going to do it anyway. So ABC kicked things off. The only thing that I could find that was on ABC that night was the 9 o'clock hour. It was an all-new episode of Simon and Simon.
Okay.
We talked about it before. It's an American detective series.
Yes.
That originally ran from 1981 to 89. It was broadcast. The broadcast starred Gerald McCraney and Jameson Parker as two, like, private detectives, I guess.
And they're brothers.
Yes. And I lied. Simon and Simon was on CBS. So we're kicking off of CBS.
Okay. I was like, it was on ABC. That doesn't make sense because it had like a crossover with Magnum and Murder, She Wrote.
I fucked up. It's my fault.
Yeah.
So tonight's episode was a new episode. It was called Thin Air. And Gerald McCraney's character, Rick, Rick's ex is accused of killing her husband. She denies it, and Rick tries to help her. But then Simon and Simon discover circumstantial evidence that makes her seem guilty.
Ooh, you know Gerald McCraney just won an Emmy for This Is Us?
Oh, really?
Yeah, he won a guest star Emmy.
Well, I thought the Emmys weren't on until like next week.
They are, but they did the creative ones last week.
Oh, so the guest stars
and that's when he won.
Is considered a creative Emmy these days?
Yeah.
I thought like it was for like the writers and like producers and like costume designers.
No, it's for most of like the like stuff nobody actually wants to sit through.
I would sit through Gerald McCraney.
But apparently they throw in the guest actor too. Like, I would have wanted to see that.
You want to see him come up?
Yeah, because Dr. K is awesome.
And you know what? I want someone to like shout out like a Simon and Simon reference to him while he was accepting his award.
That would have been awesome. Or Major Dad.
Oh yeah, forgot about Major Dad. Or that short-lived Jericho on CBS, like the mid-2000s series. All right, you ready for CBS 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
10 o'clock hour? All right. Knots Landing.
But of course.
Our favorite Dallas spinoff, which saw recovering alcoholic Gary Ewing and his wife Valerie settling into a Southern California cul-de-sac, trying to escape the dirty Dalens back home in Texas.
I mean, yeah, I'm totally sure you can escape the Ewings, except you can't. Once you're a Ewing, always a Ewing.
Yeah, their dirty deeds will follow you to wherever you go, whether you are in like a ritzy neighborhood in California or like a slum anywhere else.
Yeah.
You can't escape the oil tycoons. All right, are you ready for ABC?
Yes.
And this is it. This is the last thing I have on this night because the schedule was very bare for some reason. I couldn't find anything.
Do you know what it was? It was probably like sporting events or like specials and random crap.
Yeah, because like we're the day before New Year's Eve. Nothing is, people are like buying champagne bottles and party streamers and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. They're getting ready to be hungover the next day.
Yeah, they're getting ready to dance into 1983.
Yeah,
my mistake. Dancing the night away with some like early 80s synthesized music. Maybe like Thriller might have been out around this time.
No, I don't think Thriller was out yet. Thriller was like 83, wasn't it?
Yeah, you're probably right. Maybe Off the Wall then. Don't Stop Till You Get Enough.
Maybe some Devo with it?
Could be. Or Video Killed the Radio Star.
Oh, totally. Considering that was the first music video played on MTV on August 1st, 1981.
Yeah, shout out to August 1st, 1981. Kat was just like, you were still like in a womb, right?
I was still in the womb.
Yes. You were.
I was just days away from coming out and bursting out onto the scene.
Your mom was probably listening to that song and you heard that and you're like, shit, MTV, I need to get out. I need to escape and party.
I want my MTV.
Yes, that was the first thing you said when you like crawled out.
When I crawled out of the C-section.
Yes, shout out to C-sections.
I want my MTV.
Get Martha Quinn on the horn.
Stupid.
All right, ABC, 10 o'clock, 2020. Our favorite news magazine show with our gal pal, Barbara Walters.
Ooh, Hugh Downs was still alive then too, wasn't he?
Yeah, this would have been like, 2020 begat in 1978. I think Barbara Walters joined in like shortly thereafter. I don't think she was in it from the get-go, but Hugh Downs was definitely there. And I don't know, like wild like human interest stories and international intrigue, I guess. I don't know, just stuff they talked about.
Just like whatever the hot news stories were of the day.
Yeah, maybe like a murder or like a little kid getting sick and then getting over it after the whole town comes to his support.
Somebody getting stuck in a well.
Yeah. Singer Tiffany becoming popular and visiting her at the mall while she sings to teens. I'm sure they did that story.
Everybody come and play, throw all of your cares away. Let's go to the mall.
Yes.
Today.
We should do an episode live from the mall one day if those are still a thing.
Oh yes, we'll have to find a mall we can both be at.
Yeah, like by the time we finally like are together in the same room, malls will be like a thing of the past.
Yeah, we'll be like, oh my god, what is this craziness?
Live from an Amazon.com distribution center. All right, that was that night of television. A wild times were had in the early 80s.
So America was being bored with just like nothing to watch. And the Brits got Allo Allo instead.
Yeah, they took a wild trip back to the 40s and just talked about espionage and forging papers and just being like bumbling fools.
Yes. Like, honestly, so much happens in this episode that my head was spinning.
Yes. So
like, you like put it all together.
Yeah. So this episode is like a setup episode. It felt like definitely.
Yes, it's definitely a set. But the other episodes are just as like just stuff is always happening.
The basic premise of the show is it's supposed to be like a thriller, like a political thriller, war thriller, espionage, like spies and people like doing mischievous things. But everybody involved are like idiots. So they just kind of like bumble their way through it.
It's like the most incompetent people
and
you could possibly have doing this all.
It reminds me of like Inspector Gadget, like accidentally solving a crime is basically what it is.
Well, yeah, because Penny always solved the crime.
But I guess Rene has like some smart people in his hand. Like that Michelle, was she the Michelle Dubois?
Michelle Dubois.
She seemed like she had a brain.
Says this once.
She seemed like she had a brain.
She's there the resistance. She just shows up and is like, okay, you're our new safe house and raised. And like, wait, what? Like, he has no choice in the matter. He's like, this place is crawling with Germans. Are you insane?
Yes. All right. So Rene owns the cafe. The place is always crawling with Germans. They love that place. And Rene kind of like uses the Germans to get rations. The Germans use Rene to get sex and like weird kink stuff.
Yeah.
I guess now the French resistance want to use the restaurant to like funnel British airmen through, I guess.
Yeah, or just like whatever they need to funnel. But it's these two British airmen who they do not like ever seem to get rid of until they just disappear in season 8.
Yeah, so they want to
and then they show back up in the finale.
So they want to use the cafe as a safe house, but they also want to like hide like a paper forger there too.
The airmen can have their papers forged and get out. It's easier to like sneak them out.
This makes no sense because it's like, all right, this place is always crawling with Germans. They're always there. But Michelle Dubois thinks like, you know what? This is like hiding in plain sight. This is perfect. This is great. It'll work. Also, there's like a weird subplot where the Germans are also stealing like art from places, I guess.
Yeah, they're stealing like paintings and just items that are very valuable because that's what they did. They did that like everywhere. Is they would steal like paintings. Like every once in a while, you still hear a story about how a painting stolen by the Nazis is discovered again. Like lost works of art. Like they would, or like there would be paintings that would be hidden from the Nazis. Like they would paint over them. So like when these, for all you know, you have a Renoir on your like wall, but you don't know it because like your great-great-grandfather like painted something over it to hide it from the Nazis.
Yeah, or they flip the painting over so it's like the real, like the valuable paintings on the other side.
Yeah.
So when the Gestapo knock on your door, you just flip the painting over real quick and
yeah, make sure you got that portrait of Hitler up instead of the Madonna with the big boobies.
Yes. So the Colonel and his bumbling partner, they steal a picture of the fallen Madonna with the big boobies. It's just like a naked lady. And ironically, it's like Hitler's favorite painting and he wants it. Yes,
he really wants this one. And they couldn't find it when they raided because it was already stolen.
And they send her auto flick is the
hair flick.
Is it Gestapo or Gestapo?
Gestapo.
So he's with the Gestapo. He's like a scary German man. Like whenever you do like a what's that Quentin Tarantino movie, Inglourious Bastards, and there's that like really scary German guy.
He's just like every scary German guy you get, like the guys from Chaos on Get Smart or Hydra in the Marvel movies, or he's just, and it's like he's dressed in the black leather. Like any second you think he could probably tear off his face mask and he'd be a big red face.
Yes, Red Skull.
It's like super creepy. Like he's just very stiff and stern, and he's like, fix your button. No.
He's very emotionless.
Fix your stocking.
He's probably never laughed in his life. He has never thought anything was funny.
He has probably never had an orgasm.
No. He probably thinks that's weird. His parents probably
like if he had one, he'd be like, whoa, what the heck happened?
Yeah. His parents probably like locked him in the basement for the first 10 years of his life. So all he knows is darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And his only friend was a pet rat that he had to eat one day because he got hungry.
Oh God.
So he's like Hitler's personal assistant, I think, right? Hitler's right-hand man.
He's up there. He's like up in the ranks.
Yes. Like he goes on like walks and like hangs out with Hitler at night and stuff. And they play like Scrabble together.
Yes, that's exactly what's happening.
So Hitler sends them to France to check in on these two
bumbling
idiot German guys, and he assigns them with like the personal mission to find the naked lady painting, and they're like, oh shit, like we have the painting.
Yeah, it's like we have the painting and a lot of other stuff. Okay, we have to get Renee to hide these for us.
Yes. So
while Renee is trying to like deal with the incompetent resistance, which has like these two British people just showing up 2 days early and a forger showing up, and Renee has nowhere to put them, the Germans are like, here, we need you to hide these for us.
Yes. So the Germans go down into the basement where Renee has like the British airmen and the forger are down there. And like the Germans just like walk in the middle of it and they're like, oh, like what's going on down here? These men are British. They're all just kind of like looking at each other. And now like they each have like a piece of blackmail information. So it's just like a 3-way blackmail, I guess.
Yeah, it's just like this crazy thread of, well, you know this and I know this. Just Renee's caught in the middle. This guy who just wants to run his restaurant, just hook up with his waitresses, ignore his wife and his mother-in-law, and drink wine, and he's got to deal with all this madness. And like nobody asked if he wanted to be a part of the resistance. They just were like, oh, here you go.
Oh, yeah. They just show up with guns and they're like, you have to be part of this now. They couldn't have gone to like the cafe next door.
I guess not.
On top of all that, his mother-in-law is also like living in the building.
Yes, he lives with his mother-in-law who has been dying for 30 years. She just lives in the bed. She can't hear anything. She's got like one of those like ear horn things.
Yeah, so they stick up to your ear so you can hear things, but she still can't hear.
Yeah.
She's like 107 years old.
And the Resistance has installed the radio communications in her room.
So there's like a radio. It's like attached to her bed. Like her bed is like part of the radar that picks up the radio waves.
Yes, her bed is basically the antenna. Because it's like a metal bed and they wrap the wires around it and they have a power switch, and when it turns on, the bed like starts to electrocute, and she's like, oh, and she doesn't know what's going on. She has no clue what is happening in her life. Beyond confused.
Yeah, she's so far into like dementia that she's just like, take me away, just get me out of this madness. It's just, why are all these people coming into my room and like just speaking nonsense into this coconut radio?
It's like, why are you talking to my chamber pot?
Oh yeah. The chamber pot is like the part that you listen from, right?
Yeah, so okay. Like, so they have to hide it. So they hide it under the bed and the floorboard. So you have to lift the bed up, and it's like the bed always ends up on a crazy angle with her feet up in the air. And to get to the part where you actually like speak into. And then like the part you hear out of is hidden under a floorboard that has a chamber pot on top so that it's not suspicious.
Yeah, so like if you came into the room to like let's say you're the Nazis and you come into the room to invade and like search the room, you're gonna see a chamber pot on the ground and you're gonna go, oh, it's just a chamber pot, and then you're gonna keep on going. But it's like a dummy chamber pot.
Yeah, you're not gonna like pick it up and find the thing. You're like, I don't want to touch the chamber pot.
It's not supposed to be used. There is an actual like functional one that the mother-in-law is supposed to use. It's like in the drawer, but she never uses that one. She always goes to like the dummy one on the floor.
Well, she's like, I don't know how. Renee's like, I don't know how to tell her that you don't use, and I cannot do these accents because it's like so muddled in my brain trying to do British doing a French. He's like, I don't know how to tell her not to use this one. Use the one in the cupboard, because you know what I bet? I bet they usually kept her chamber pot under the bed.
Yeah, well, I mean, that seems like the most obvious place, and I guess you can't teach an old dog new tricks, so it's not going to be like, hey, the chamber pot has been under your bed for the first 100 years of your life, and now it's like in this drawer, don't use this one. And she's like, fuck you, I'm using this one. I've been using it my whole life, bitch.
Exactly.
Why did my daughter marry you?
Seriously, why did this woman marry him? Because he's an ass to her.
Maybe he has a big dick. I don't know. I mean, all these ladies seem to want him.
Yeah, there's got to be like a reason. Like all these women, like he's not that much. He's really not an attractive man.
No,
he's got to be like the only man around that's not a German soldier.
Well, he's a hard worker, so he probably has like a good like nest, like a little safety net.
Yeah, probably.
And I don't know, maybe he has like a good tongue move too.
I doubt it.
You don't think so? Well, he is a fast talker, so I bet he can twirl that tongue around a lot.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. Can I bring up something wild about the show?
Yes, bring up something wild.
All right. So the characters are supposed to be speaking their like respective language, like French, German, and English.
Yes.
But for the audience's sake, everyone on the show just speaks English.
And then they have the crazy accent too.
So you can distinguish like who is talking who. So because it's confusing, because you're like, why are the French characters speaking in English in front of the Germans, and they're like talking about the secrets?
Yes.
And then you slowly start to put it together that they're speaking their like native language. And I guess I read this on Wikipedia that the actors would do different accents and like voice levels to differentiate the languages they were speaking. So as you watch the show, you figure out like when Renee is speaking German, when he's speaking English, and when he's speaking French. By the way, he speaks.
I think in the first episode, it was really clear when Michelle spoke English with the British airmen, because it was a drastic change.
It sounded like she was like in New York City just speaking American English.
Well, it was more like England, but yeah. All right, chaps, let's go. But yeah, so like you get everybody speaking English. Except they're not really speaking English. Like, in their world, they're not speaking English, but in ours, they are.
Yeah, so it took me a few minutes to figure out that aspect of the show, because I'm just like, wait, why are they, like, spilling their secrets in front of the enemy?
Yeah, I was like, it took me a second for that, too. Because here's the deal. I watched this show when I was a kid, like on PBS with my mom, before or after Are You Being Served would be on. And so much of, like, the jokes and just, like, the history went over my head.
I was going to say, how did you understand any of this madness when you were a kid? Like, did you just like think the calamity was funny?
I think just Renee being exasperated with everything.
Overwhelmed with life.
And all these idiots surrounding him. And all the failed attempts to get rid of these two British airmen.
Because even as an adult, like a lot of the plot kind of went over my head. So I was like, how the fuck did you understand all this like when you were a kid?
I didn't at all. Like, if I come across an episode of Are You Being Served and I'm watching that, and I'll be like, whoa, that went over my head. As a kid, too.
That's how I felt about Three's Company when I revisited that when I was in like my early 20s, because I used to watch it in reruns all the time when I was like 6, 7, or 8. And then I remember watching it many, many years later, and I was like, I did not think this show was like this at all.
Yeah, you know, like the whole like Jack pretending to be gay thing, I totally did not like
pick up on that,
comprehend at all as a kid. Like I just like, it's a guy who lives with 2 girls. I don't know why this is such a big deal.
You just thought it was wild because they made it seem like it was wild?
Yeah, it was just like, okay, like for whatever reason, the landlord finds this weird.
And then all like the sexual innuendo just doesn't even register in your brain.
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of felt that way about Married with Children too.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Wild times. Wild times in the 80s and 90s. Anything else? Anything else we missed in Allo Allo?
Oh, the French airman showing up as a onion salesman.
Yes, because onions are not in season.
And riding their bikes on the wrong side of the road.
Everyone is looking at them strangely and they don't understand why. And after like nearly getting smashed by a car, they realize they're on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah, they like find like they don't get why everybody's like, why is everybody looking at us so strangely? And it's as they're riding their bikes down the road. And then finally they almost get hit by a car and they're like, oh, bloody well, I got it. We're driving on the wrong side of the road. Goodness gracious, that's like, where do these men come up with this stuff?
Just wacky writer's room in England in the early 80s.
I guess so.
I guess. All right. Anything else on Allo Allo?
Oh, there's a cuckoo clock that gets stuffed down a set of pants. That was hilarious. I think I messaged you about that. I'm like, I just watched a grown man stuff a cuckoo clock down his pants.
Yeah, so that it's the top of the hour and the cuckoo clock goes off and it looks like he just has like a boner like popping out of his pants, out of his trousers.
Yeah.
Right in front of the fucking Gestapo guy, too.
Yeah. Well, that's why they hid the cuckoo clock in his pants.
Yeah, because it was the first cuckoo clock ever invented, apparently.
Supposedly.
Yes. I don't know. I wanted to look it up after. I was like curious. I was like, when were cuckoo clocks invented?
Right.
But I didn't get around to it because I watched this at like 4 a.m.
Oh my goodness.
So I had to take this all in at like 4 a.m. Imagine that. So I woke up.
I took it all in like right before bed.
I was like, am I having a fever dream or did this show really exist?
Like, what is this wild, crazy show?
And that's Allo Allo, I guess. Maybe we'll revisit it at some point in time.
That's the start of it.
Maybe we'll go like deep into the show's run.
Maybe.
I do know one thing though. I am probably going to watch this whole fucking series in like the next 2 weeks. I'm going to go through this whole show very quickly. Believe it or not.
Because it's that much fun.
Yes. Hopefully the quality stays as good. I don't know. Things tend to get stale after time.
Well, it's a British show, so they only do like a handful of episodes at once.
Yeah, probably like 6 episodes every season.
Yeah, there is like one season that's like 26 episodes so that they could syndicate it in America.
Ah. And do they have like weird Christmas specials and stuff like all these fucking crazy Britcoms do?
I don't know. Actually, there might be a weird Christmas special somewhere in there.
The Doctor Who Christmas special?
I don't know. I have to look. Probably nothing like that. But well, you get the idea.
Yes. All right. So what are we battling into next week? What wild series? Because this is going to be our last one before we go into the Halloween season, I believe.
Yes, it is. Next week, we're doing a request. We are doing the TV show Route 66, I believe.
Yes. Which I have never seen before. I'm just going to throw that out there.
I've never seen it either.
I want to say I've heard of it, but I might just be thinking of the actual Route 66 and not the show.
Yeah.
Or the song, like, Come Get Your Kicks.
I feel like, yeah, that's exactly what's just running through my head.
I'm going to, like, watch this and be like, no, this is not what I thought it was going to be. So, this is a,
yeah, probably.
It's a drama, right? Isn't it? Like an anthology type series, I believe.
Something. Filmed on locations or something.
Yeah. It's on Hulu.
We're total virgins to this show, so we don't know.
Yeah, so we're gonna dive headfirst into Route 66, season 1, episode 29. Season 1 of this show had at least 29 episodes, probably more. I don't know if this is even the season finale.
Yes, it's because it's that old. Like, remember back in the 50s and 60s, the shows had like way longer seasons.
Yes, so I think we randomly picked an episode, so we don't like know if this is like a memorable episode or not. We just going into it.
We just picked one. We just like went to Hulu and we're like, that one.
Yeah, we threw a dart at the wall and it landed on season 1, episode 29.
Yes, exactly.
Metaphorically, we threw a dart and that's what we're going to do. We'll learn all about that show next week. And then after that, we are going to go into Halloween. Here Comes the Booze, which is
we'll be back for Here Comes the Booze. Ah.
And I think we're doing 5 Halloween episodes this year.
Yeah, 5 or 6.
If we have time, maybe we'll squeeze in an extra one because we always get a little antsy around the holidays.
Yeah, we always get ooh, we want to do 4. We'll just randomly think of something oh, we have to do that. We have to do that. And then next thing you know, you're getting extra episodes.
Yeah, because we'll do the Grinch Halloween night, and then all of a sudden while we're doing that, we find something accidentally through Wikipedia and we're like, fuck, we don't want to wait till next year to do that. Let's do it now. Exactly.
We just got to make sure we pay attention to our episode count.
Yep, because we're battling towards episode 100, and we already know what we're doing. We're not going to spoil it yet. It's going to be a wild episode.
It is. If past indication is any idea, it will be a wild, crazy episode.
All right, so where can you follow us?
You can follow us on Twitter @VeryPodcast. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram @AVerySpecialPodcast. Do not be fooled by imitators. You can find us online at averyspecialpodcast.com. And of course, we're on iTunes and all that good stuff. So please leave us a review on iTunes, tweet us.
Yes.
Interact with us. We're actually not that shy. We will interact.
Yes, and tweet us fuck, marry, kill suggestions and good son scenarios, and we will...
Yes, because Patrick loves those.
Oh!
He loves them. You would not believe. Oh, God.
Oh, before we go, have you watched The Good Son yet?
No, I have not.
Oh!
Do I need to just put that on my to-do list?
It's on Netflix, girl. You need to go. When we hang up this podcast line today, you need to just fire up Netflix, pop some popcorn, throw on your kitty cat slippers.
I can't. I have to babysit.
Your cat ears, and watch 11-year-old Macaulay Culkin swear in a rated PG-13 movie. Are you choking over there?
I don't know. It was just I coughed, and I think I brought my hair in with me when I coughed, and then I started a really weird chain of events. This is why I don't wear my hair down very often.
The cat almost died on the podcast. You would have had to hear me call 911.
The old cat can't come to the phone right now. Why? 'Cause she's dead.
Yes, we would use the spirit board and talk to you through that channel. Oh, do you know what we should do for a Halloween episode? We should do a Ouija board episode in which we try to talk to dead celebs.
How are we going to do that? We're in 2 different places.
We'll figure out the logistics. Is there an internet Ouija board that we can use?
I don't know. We'll have to find out. You know what I really need to do is just do an audio recording of the spirit board.
Yes. Her book, The Spirit Board, which is about a demonic Jared Leto type who haunts teens. And
I love the way you describe it. I wish I could just put that as the description, but I feel like Jared Leto would find it and be like, what the hell is this?
I feel like he would embrace it.
I don't know. I'm never sure with him. I don't want to get dead rats in the mail or anything.
I feel like he doesn't check his at mentions at all. He just seems like that type of guy, because I'm sure people talk a lot of shit about him
and hit on him. I've seen people on my Twitter feed hit on him.
I'm pretty sure he has never gone into his mentions once in his entire Twitter existence or Instagram existence.
He probably doesn't even know they exist.
He just posts a fucking picture with of him dressed as the Joker or something, and shuts his phone down, and I don't know, goes has sex with 11 girls that he just met at a club in Hollywood.
Yes, pretty much.
What do you think Jared Leto smells like? I feel like he is a stinky guy for some reason.
Patchouli and garlic.
Garlic. How often do you think he bathes?
Maybe once a week.
Yeah, he seems like a once a weeker, because I don't know, he just always looks really greasy to me for some reason.
Yeah, he looks really greasy, and he's got long hair, and for your hair to be that greasy when it's that long, you're not bathing.
He looks like how I imagine Courtney Love's feet smelled in the 90s.
Yeah, probably.
All right. I think on that note, we should depart. Tweet us your dead celeb suggestions that we should have a seance with during a Halloween episode.
And tweet us if you want
@VeryPodcast.
An audio cast of the spirit board.
Oh, I'm totally doing a drunk recording of it one night.
Okay, you keep saying that and you haven't done it yet.
Girl, it's coming. It might even be a...
Promise.
It might even be... Well, I don't want to have it be an episode of the podcast, because then you can't monetize it.
Yeah.
So you can buy it on Amazon in 6 years. Patrick Dunn drunkenly reading the spirit board and saying words wrong and starting sentences over
and having no clue what's happening in the story.
Yeah, just not emoting properly. So join us next week when we do Route 66 and ride off into the sunset for our regular episodes until November. And as always,
Bye!
peace out, bitches!